Hey, what's up guys? Thanks so much for tuning into my channel. It's been a while. Let's get into this. Hey, what's up everybody? This is your girl Miesha. I am so sorry that I have been gone for so long, but I am bringing you guys today what you all have been asking for so many times, like in my comments. We are going to be talking all about keto today. As I said, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. Not long after I launched, I did start a new job, and then I was getting ready for the bodybuilding competition, which is what I talked to you guys about in my last video. If you haven't checked out my last video, make sure you go and do so. In that video, I talked all about how I was going to be competing in my very first bodybuilding competition, competing in the wellness category. And I did that, but I think I underestimated a little bit how much work that was going to take. Literally blood, sweat, and tears went into getting ready for that bodybuilding competition, but I did place. So I placed first place in novice and fourth place overall. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel because I have videos coming soon talking all about my experience and where I am now and what I'm doing now, just after winning last year. But with that being said, like, I still appreciate all of the love that you guys have been showing me, the comments, the likes. You know, I had some people talking trash a little bit. That was good to start some interesting dialogue. But one of the things that I've noticed that you guys have all been begging me for is a keto video. So we're gonna get into all of the details, or as much details as I can give you guys. So I do have to give a disclaimer that I am not a licensed nutritionist or dietitian. And so while I am gonna be talking to you guys about what I have learned along the way, it's important that you seek advice from a medical professional first. Now, for keto, I feel like the most important thing to know essentially is what you're doing is tricking your body to burn fat for energy. And this process is called ketosis. So normally the body runs off of carbohydrates and sugars for energy as your main source of fuel. But you know, your body can also utilize fats for fuel. So with keto, which is low carbs, high fats, essentially what you're doing is forcing your body to utilize the fats, the excessive amount of fats that you are consuming, as energy. And so that's why you see all these videos with people saying, you know, oh, I lost, you know, a crazy amount of weight in a short amount of time. Me personally, on my journey, I lost 30 pounds in 2 months doing keto. Now, I do want to say I am no longer doing keto, and that's really because I do a lot of heavy lifting. I did talk about this in one of my last videos, so if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. But essentially, after I lost the 30 pounds of keto, I started getting very, very skinny, which has never been the goal for me. And so I started working out with a bodybuilder who was actually the guy who introduced me to the world of bodybuilding, and I started doing a lot of lifting. So with that, all of the coaches that I have had thus far have not recommended the keto diet as the most effective way as putting on muscle, because that's essentially what I am doing and had to do to get ready for my competition. There are people who, you know, I don't personally know anybody who bodybuilds and does the keto diet, but I do know a lot of people who lift weights and utilize the keto diet. So again, I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do. But me personally, like, once I started lifting and trying to put on muscle, I ditched keto. I feel like for me, when I started doing keto, I had a lot of fat to lose. I talked about that in my last video. And so I just did keto, and then I did intermittent fasting, and I was doing cardio. Like, I did an hour of cardio 4 times a day. I did an hour of cardio 4 times a week, and with all the things combined that I was doing, I ended up dropping 30 pounds in 2 months. And I would say that was like a good start for me. Definitely a good start, and it definitely helped motivate me. Like, I started seeing my results. I was looking good, whatever, getting compliments. So as I said, the body normally uses carbohydrates as its main source of energy for the cells. So when you reduce the amount of carbs that you consume, you limit your body's supply of glucose, which is sugar. Keto is also said to turn fat into ketones in the liver, which can supply energy for the brain. That's another great benefit of keto. And I feel like when I was doing keto, I was feeling great. I had a lot of energy. And I will say that I didn't really have a desire to eat as much. Like, it definitely suppressed my appetite. I've heard other people who've done the keto diet express this as well. So that's something to keep in mind. I feel like what a lot of people don't talk about is the fact that there are several different types of like the ketogenic diet. There are several types, but I feel like the most common one that you hear about is the standard keto diet. And that is what I'm talking about, where it's like low carbs and high fats. So the other thing that I want to like really stress to you guys, because people start talking about keto and they're like, oh, well, I get to have all these fats. So then they start to pack on the cheese and the like excessive amounts of oil and really go crazy with the meat. And they think it's just like, oh, okay, I can have meat, I can have cheese. And I've heard the term, I guess that term is called dirty keto. I don't really recommend that. I don't know people who do it that way that are successful with the diet. I think really it's important to calculate your macros when you are doing the keto diet. So the 3 main macro nutrient groups are protein, carbs, fats. For keto, as I continuously keep saying, and I'm sure you've heard other people say, it's all about low carbs, high fats, and a moderate amount of protein. So don't go too crazy with the protein and thinking that you're about to see some results, because like you have to be specific. And so what I'm going to do down below in the comment section, I'm going to include a link that I found very helpful for me in calculating what my macros should actually be. Now, normally it's 70% fat, 20% protein, and 10% carbs, but that is just like average. It's gonna vary depending on how much you weigh as well as your BMI. So the calculator that I'm linking below will really help you and give you like set numbers of where you should be to hit your goals of losing weight. Really important to make sure that you calculate those so that you don't want to just not be working towards the goal. You could be wasting your time. Like I said, I don't know anybody who has done keto successfully that just said that they were just about to eat a whole bunch of meat and cheese. That didn't work for me. That's not how I did it. What I did on my journey was I calculated my macros. So I think where my starting weight, I was at 225. And so I wasn't supposed to do this, and I don't recommend that you guys do this, but what I was doing, I literally was only eating anywhere between 13 to 1,400 calories a day. I kept my macros, my carbs, 20 grams and under. Like, I just went 20 grams and under. And yeah, like I usually hit my goal for fats pretty much every day. I believe it was like 74 grams. So, and as I mentioned in the last video, I utilize MyFitnessPal to help me track all of my food, all of my meals. Whenever I went to a restaurant that didn't, have a log of like a nutritional guide or whatever, I would just, find items that were very similar to what I was eating from said restaurant. I combined keto with intermittent fasting. If you don't know what intermittent fasting, that's pretty much you eating within a window of the day, and what that's doing is allowing your body more time to digest and like process what you're eating. So normally it's an 8-hour window for people. I feel like a common one is like from 12 to 8. That's pretty much the one that I followed. Was drinking a gallon of water a day, and as I mentioned again, I was doing an hour of cardio 4 times a week. And that was just me getting started like on my fitness journey, because I was like, girl, you gotta get your shit together. So that's what I did, and I literally dropped 30 pounds in 2 months, and it was crazy, and I was looking good. I was feeling myself. And it just kind of motivated me. I kind of went down that rabbit hole into becoming a gym rat and being on my fitness journey, which is where I am today. So it's been a beautiful process to see. Another thing that I want to share with you guys is like how to calculate carbs. So, and this kind of sounds ridiculous, like even me saying it out loud, but, I think when you're looking on the back of the package, you'll see, grams of carbs, right? So the way you want to calculate it is like you take the grams of carbs and you subtract the fiber, because it kind of like the fiber cancels out the carbs. And then you could also subtract, I believe it's sugar alcohol. So you'll see a lot of keto products where they're advertised as keto, and then you'll look at it and you'll say, wow, like the carbs, the grams of carbs are pretty high. But the way that they're able to advertise like the lower amount of carbs is because usually, although it's high in carbs, it's also high in fiber. And then some products even contain like sugar alcohol, which also cancels out the carbohydrates. And so that's how you can calculate that as well. All right, guys, so that's what I got for this video. Again, make sure you stay tuned. Do me a favor and put comments down below and let me know if you have specific questions, additional questions, because I am going to be bringing an expert back to discuss the matter in more detail. I guess that's just my journalism background. I'm not an expert on it, so I can tell you guys what I know, but I definitely think that it's important to be hearing from somebody who really does this. So that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel, and don't forget to pour into yourself every single day.